Morning all. A lovely, beautiful, sunny morning. Got to say, can't complain about global warming when it's 14, 15 degrees and sunny in mid-November. Bring it on. I know that's light-hearted, I shouldn't really be saying that, I suppose. It'll upset all the usual suspects. So, a little bit of a disclaimer at the start of this video. I'm not getting paid for this video in any way. It's not an advert. I'm not advertising this company. I'm not working for this company. I'm not getting paid for this company. But I do want to give them a little bit of a big up because I think they're doing a good thing. And it's a rare thing nowadays. It's to do with banking. Who do you bank with? So I've got 4 different bank accounts. 4? No, 5 different bank accounts. Because I've got a couple of different ones for business and 2 or 3 different personal ones as well. Who do you bank with? That's an important question nowadays because depending where you live, there are fewer and fewer and fewer actual branches of banks available. If you actually still deal in checks or want to pay checks in, if you want to speak to somebody about your mortgage or mortgage advice, if you want to go and talk to somebody about savings accounts or ISAs or whatever else it might be, more and more and more, they're pushing you to do it online. They're trying to persuade you to do it on video calls. They're trying to make sure that you don't actually have access to either paying in or withdrawing cash. For businesses, it's become more and more and more difficult. If they take cash in their business, where do they go and pay it in? It's a nightmare. So many small villages and small towns have had their bank branches closed down. Thousands of banks have been closed. And particularly for older people who going to the bank might be a little bit of public contact, personal contact, interaction with someone. It actually gets them out of bed in the morning, gives them something to do. And also, they're not so savvy. They don't do online banking. They don't do digital. They don't know how to use an app on their phone to transfer money from one place to another. So they go and pay money into the bank physically, in person, or they go and pay checks in, or they go and withdraw cash, or they want to go and talk to someone. And that's becoming harder and harder and harder to do because more and more of the banks are shutting their branches. Why are they doing that? Well, for them, it's convenient, it's easy, they employ less staff, it means their profit margins go up. So who's the company that I'm bigging up? Well, it's Nationwide Bank. One of my personal bank accounts is with them, and I want to give them a glowing reference. Whenever you call their customer services, you get dealt with by somebody who actually sounds like they know what they're doing, speaks the lingo really clearly, really well, no issues. It's not an offshore call centre somewhere. And they seem to actually care. They seem to want to help. They seem to take notice of what you're saying. And they seem to be able to actually resolve your problem. But more importantly, they actually have branches that are open, branches that are available in high streets. And now, as of I think the last couple of days, they've put out a memo saying that they are committing to not closing any of their branches anywhere in the country until 2030. So it's another 5 years away. None of the other banks are doing that as far as I'm aware. None of the other banks are making that commitment. None of the other banks are offering that service to their clients and to their customers. They're all closing their branches. They're all shutting down. Now, Nationwide is not one of the bigger banks. It probably doesn't have as many branches as some of the others. So for them, maybe it's easier to do. But to me, it's still a really important commitment. Not only that, but they actually offer good accounts with good facilities, good rates, good extras like free travel insurance, etc., etc., that people can use. So as I say, I don't do this very often. I'm not getting paid by them. You may have a different experience. I can only talk from my experience. But Nationwide Bank, well done. The commitment to keep all your branches open until 2030 is a big commitment, considering that no one else is doing it, and I think it should be applauded. So, as I say, just a small personal private video. I don't know who you bank with, I don't know if you agree, but for me, Nationwide, top marks.